Wow.
Wow, this is some really deep stuff.
I don't know what just happened, but something happened inside of me. Something snapped. Something.
I wasn't expecting that
either. Sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. It's beautiful.
Monster is like really small, but it had to become that to stop me.
And then the hurt child became present when you mentioned it.
And I didn't realize this until now.
There were things that I didn't remember until now.
Funny. I haven't seen that before.
It feels like I'm the monster. I'm kind of seeing images of things. Of a world where they can exist. This clarity brings all kinds of answers.
It's clear. She hugged me and then went back to her place, I guess, in my heart. Oh, it wants to come out. It wants to bippity boppity boop Cinderella me. She's melted into my chest. It's ooey gooey.
All week been finishing things, cleaning up more, started eating vegetables again last week. And it kind of just started happening. It's almost like I just finished going through a meditation session.
I feel light. When you hit that first joint, in the morning, and
I actually feel a lot more awake.
I am better now that I'm talking to you, but I'm feeling ill.
Oh no.
Yeah, I feel sick. Don't know what it is.
Have you had COVID yet?
I think so. Not sure.
Do you want to go through with this, or would you rather just skip it?
I'd like to try. I mean, I'd rather be doing this than not doing it. I just don't know if I'll be very brain working.
Yeah, because if you feel sick, then yeah. But please just tell me if you say this is too much for me. Okay.
It just occurred to me.
Yeah.
I think I'm free tomorrow.
Okay.
At the same time. I'm not sure. Are you free tomorrow at this time? Or similar time?
I'm not sure. I'm supposed to meet somebody at 4, and I don't know how long that will take.
Okay. Would you like to just give it a shot and see what happens?
Okay. Let's just okay. I mean, because I'm thinking about it. Yes, I would, but not. If it's not good for you.
Again,
so maybe
I'd rather do it than not. I just don't know how present I'll be able to be for you and your parts.
Okay.
But I'll give it a shot.
Okay. So let's try that. But I'm sorry that you're sick, because that's not no fun.
All right. So.
Well, at first, I just want to say that I felt bad about asking if you had COVID yet, because that's none of my business. It was just kind of a reflex from a couple of years ago that when you got sick, you always thought you had COVID.
Mm-hmm.
No, there are so many other things that you can have. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. Thank you. So,
yeah.
Do you have any parts you'd like to get to know better today?
Let's see. So I'm not, well, there is something that's drawing me. And that is because, this is not unusual. I very often feel like this. Like I feel kind of stuck, and that I'm making very limited use of myself. I mean, not with that, I mean, not on my brain, but that limited use of myself as a person, that I live kind of a limited life because I have, I control myself quite a bit. So,
yeah.
And then I was asking myself, so what is it? What is it that makes me not do more of what I feel I want? I sort of know the answer. I mean, I sort of know the answer because there are all these fears there, right? There are all these. We have talked about it, but with the various exiles and the various protectors that come in and say, "Don't do that. That's not safe," and all that. The part of it that I'm kind of intrigued with is that, okay, it's related to the fear that if I was able to do whatever I wanted, and first of all, I would need to know what I wanted, but if I was able to do what I wanted, I would just barge away and it would end up hurting me or hurting others.
Mm-hmm.
And what's intriguing is that has happened. I never hurt anybody seriously, but apparently, I think I told you last time about that girl on the bicycle
That's right.
who I must have. I don't remember it. So, if you ask me if my bicycle hit hers and she fell over, I would say, I don't know. But everybody else said I did. So let's assume I did.
Excited.
Yeah,
at the
I was
time.
very excited. And and it was all okay. So when I went into it a little bit last time, I could feel that incredible fear. And it was like, here I was just kind of barging along in my own excitedness.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no protector who said, stop, take it easy, look around. There was nobody there. It was just, there was nobody. And then bang, and it was over. And I was just thrown. I was so alone. It was like I've taken drugs. So I don't, maybe you get that high when you're on drugs and then you fall down when they affect, which was almost like I was super high. And I had and there was nobody stopping me because there were no cars stopping me.
Right.
And then, and I saying the same thing again, but then there was that feeling of complete aloneness afterwards when I was totally confused. But I felt I was kind of condemned by the whole group.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is not the whole story why I hold myself back. Because, if I'm going to sit there and be kind of realistic, I think, the chance of me doing that is very slim. It's not something I would do every day, even if I went after my wants. That there is a fear, and you can say it's irrational. Well, it has happened, so it's not totally irrational, but there is a fear there that something like that would happen if I didn't control myself.
This all makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Because when you were working with this part last time that had this fear, we switched.
Yeah.
You know, it was doing this growing and trying to figure out where's the boundary, and you were providing this role of being the one who looks out and makes sure that it's safe. And then we switched to another part, that the wounded part in the hospital and with the fur collar.
Yeah, the fur collar. Yeah.
So maybe
the fucking collar.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just, we haven't finished being with this part and helping unburden it from its feelings of being alone and condemned.
That's right. But that's
just a hypothesis.
It's a right hypothesis, but it's when this happened to me when I was 22. There was some of the same feelings of being condemned, even if it was totally different situations, of course. Okay, so let's see if that hypothesis.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do there. We don't even have to hold on to that hypothesis. We can just go there.
Right. So that would be going back to that girl growing out of the house.
Yeah, because when that girl, she got scared. And she didn't get scared. She was also, I think it became kind of futile to just grow and grow and grow without connection.
Right.
So she went back and said, what I really want is connection and love. I remember that. And that was when the switch came.
Right. Yeah. And okay, so I'm forming another hypothesis.
Okay.
The younger part, or the other part, the wounded part, maybe it was that part seeking connection and love, and this growing house girl part was kind of an older protector of hers, perhaps. I'm wondering, you could check it out. You could check it out with her. Has your work with that wounded part helped at all in that connection and love department?
So I have checked in with a girl in the house a couple of times, and I asked her how she was, and it seemed like she's been in a good mood. And I haven't stayed there for that long, but it's almost like she has said, I just want to play. So, yeah, it could be, because I haven't felt any discomfort or fear coming from her. Maybe I would if I stayed there longer or spent more time, but basically I haven't. So that's,
Okay, so where's the futile without connection and love feeling coming from? Does that feel like it belongs to her, or it comes from that other part, or somewhere else?
So last time it came from the girl in the house, that she was just being super wild, and and then it's kind of both futility and fear crept in, I think. So In my mind, those two girls are almost the same age. Okay.
Okay.
Because if you remember, well, you don't need to remember this, but when we first started working on the shame girl, she was also in the hospital, and that's about in real time, or in whatever time you go in kind of linear time, or whatever you call
historical
that time. Historical time. In historical time, that was about 4 months after the episode in the car. So, but still,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So again, you could check it out with her of how that helped, or what else feels like you could provide for her in that connection and love area.
Well, I think it feels like it helped her that I got mad at the mother because of that collar, at the collar.
Yeah.
That helped her.
Yes.
Yes. That's.
And that's usually the first step after we get to know a part and understand their experience, is we go back and help them and kind of redo some things. So that could also be just a place where we pick up, if that feels right, is see if there's more redoing to do, if there's more scenes from the past that she would like for you to help her out in.
Okay. So I'm kind of wondering back to the puzzle of what happened or happens when I got so excited that there were nobody there. And I just crashed, because that was a reality. So I'm wondering, if there's a connection there. Or if that's something completely different.
Are you talking about when this part was so excited and putting the mud stamps and...
No,
Okay.
because that was okay. So that was okay. That was her doing that, and it didn't have bad consequences. That's right.
Because you were there to protect.
Because I was there to protect. But there is a fear in me that I could end up in situations where there were nobody there to protect.
Okay. So
because so I was there to protect this 5-year-old or 6-year-old, but nobody was there to, in historical time to protect a 22-year-old.
Maybe we should go to the 22-year-old. What comes up for you around that?
Resistance.
Resistance. Resistance is welcome.
Yeah, it's resistance. I don't want to go there.
Is it because she's not young and vulnerable enough?
Yeah, and also if something embarrassing or shameful happened, she was too old to be excused for it.
Okay. Okay. Just let that part know that you see it.
Yeah.
That resistance part.
Yeah.
So she's too old. And see if you can get it to notice you.
Yeah, I think it's seeing me.
How do you feel towards that resistance part?
So on the surface, I'm nodding and saying, yeah, that's probably right. She was 22, right? But then if I go deeper, I just say, but she was suffering so much.
Right. But the resistance part, is it willing to step back and let you go be with her? Will it give you space, or does it have more that it wants you to know? Fears, concerns, objections.
It is afraid that I won't be able to accept her because she was pretty single-minded.
Okay. Does that make sense to you, that this part would feel that way?
The 22-year-old or the resistance? The
resistance. Is the resistance afraid that you wouldn't be able to accept the 22-year-old?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense because she wasn't really, cliche, living my values. But I understand. But I know why she wasn't.
Maybe there's more to find out about that.
Yeah. Because,
But it sounds like this part is aware that maybe other parts, or there's been some judgment about who this 22-year-old is and what she deserves as far as being excused or being loved and understood.
Yeah. Yeah. But I feel drawn to go there too now.
Mm-hmm.
So will the resistance let me?
Yeah. And will this part that says, well, this 22-year-old's no good, her values are wrong, will it let you? Will it give you space? Or what's it afraid of happening if it doesn't?
So what is I think it's afraid. Okay, so this resistance part. Okay, so I think what it's telling me is that it sees that this young person needs help, right? And that not being judged would be incredible for her in a good way.
Mm-hmm. Right, but there are parts of you that have judged her.
There are parts of me that have judged her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sounds like the resistance part is trying to protect her from judgmental parts.
Mm-hmm. From being judged more. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So maybe you can call in those judgmental parts and just check in with them.
Those judgmental parts are saying, but she's such a smart girl. And why can't she be a little, but she's so single-minded. She's so inflexible.
Mm-hmm.
So why does she, being such a smart girl, why can't she just, why can't she be more flexible? Because that's part of being smart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's no excuse if she is smart that she's so, that, that she, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah. And what are they afraid would happen if you were to go to that girl and just learn more about her?
They may see, they may learn stuff that will make them become more flexible because they're pretty rigid. They're pretty rigid,
Right.
those judges.
Right. And what are they hoping to accomplish by sending you that message that she's too smart and she shouldn't be so inflexible?
It's almost like they're sending a message to me. And the message is, this sounds weird, that if I, you know, if I put, if I condone, if I condone inflexibility, I myself may go backwards and go back and become more of that inflexible 22-year-old.
Makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. So I can't, so if I allow myself to see that there is some reason in it.
There is. Maybe you can appreciate their intention.
Yeah, I can.
And you can also update them on some of the work you've done with a dozen other parts that seemed like they were stuck, inflexible.
Mm-hmm. Because this 22-year-old is kind of she inhabits all the same fears and shame and whatever else. I don't know to mention them all, to list them all, but she inhabits everything that the 5-year-old or 6-year-old or 7-year-old inhabit. But she's too old to be. It's nothing. It's not sweet anymore. You know.
Right.
It's kind of hard. It's kind of hardened.
Mm-hmm. Those fear and shame parts in you have been in you up until the present day, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And every time so what I say, and I mean it, is that every year it's actually is a better year for me. And what I mean by that is that I'm able to, that I'm growing. I feel I'm growing. I'm living more, and I'm becoming less inflexible.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a 22-year-old, and I say, help.
Yeah, so you could let these protectors know about your new flexibility, capability.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think I'm ready. I think I am ready to go there if the resistance will let me and the judges will let me.
Yeah. Do they trust you to go there? Or trust you enough?
Trust me enough to go there.
Could just go there for 5 minutes.
I think they do actually, because I suddenly got a glimpse of something, and what I got a glimpse of was she really doesn't know who she is.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel I have much more grounding. There's no way. So it's like she won't be able to take that away from me if I go there, or kind of. It's like
She's you're not going to revert. You're not going
to revert.
Become unflexible by getting to know her.
I'm not going to become that young person who really doesn't know who she is.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
I
think they trust it. Yeah, they trust me. Go there. I won't fall off the cliff.
Mm-mm.
I'm not even standing on the cliff, so it's solid ground out under my feet right now. It's not a cliff. She was standing on a cliff.
Yeah.
She could fall over any minute.
What else do you notice about her? She doesn't know who she is. She's on a cliff.
She's in total survival mode.
Hmm.
And she does have strong feelings, but they are. So when she got that excited, that was a strong feeling. And when she got shame afterwards, that was a strong feeling. So she's not a robot. She is more like she's an earthquake inside, or some big nature thing that's just her nerves are just, vibrating. Like, yeah, it could be an earthquake or a tsunami or flash flooding. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's really intense.
Do you want to find out more?
Yeah.
How are you being with her? Are you close?
I am about maybe 3 feet away, 4 feet away, something like that.
You could ask her to tell you about that earthquake inside of her.
Yeah, it's like she has this, it's like she has to move forward. Move. If she doesn't move, she'll collapse. So there is this kind of strong, single-minded motor in her.
Survival mode.
Yeah, that's kind of, she has to move forward. Move. And she doesn't think anybody likes her.
Mm-hmm. What's it been like for her, feeling like she has to keep moving, nobody likes her?
So she's saying, what she's saying that she's doing, she's pretending. So she's in order not. She's pretending to be. She's pretending to be nice and friendly and sharing, but she can't do it because if she gives anything away, then there's nothing for her.
Yeah, we've heard that before too, I think.
Ah, yeah, we heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody's taking care of her. So she's the only one taking care of her. She doesn't trust anybody. And she thinks everybody's looking down at her. So she's putting on this mask and pretending. But inside she feels kind of there's a knife going through her. Nobody likes me. I'm ugly and selfish. Yeah, I heard all this before.
How are you feeling towards her?
I do feel compassion towards her. Because she's just she's just has this motor. I have to survive. I have to survive. I have to survive.
Would it feel right to invite her closer to you?
Yeah. Yeah. I think so. Oh, it's so hard.
Mm-hmm.
But she has no. She doesn't. She doesn't. Well, she doesn't think, or she doesn't feel she has any choices. Because if she was more, if she was more trusting or more flexible or more relaxed, actually that's not an option for her. That's not an option for her. Mm-hmm. It's not even if she was. She can't even. It isn't an option. Because she just has to survive. And the only way to survive is just to move forward. And she knows because she's just coming out of a nervous breakdown. A year earlier, where she was just floating on a river, and for months she didn't sleep, and she was questioning everything. And her mind didn't work. She was just in a fog.
And now her mind's working, and she sees very few options.
She sees very few options. Because she can't go back there because that was thoroughly frightening. She was studying at the university and she wasn't able to read a book. She passed her exams, and that was just because because she was smart. But she didn't study, she didn't make friends. She was just ruminating and being like a zombie. Just like that girl in the hospital. And she was in 7, but this lasted much longer.
Yeah. How does she feel about being able to show all this to you?
Oh, I see that's good for her. And she says, being such a zombie, oh, scary. It was so scary. She thought she was going to die. She thought she was going to go mad. Really?
Yeah.
There was one episode where she really thought she was just going over to the other side.
Let us show you what that was like.
It was so scary. And she was so alone. So alone. There was nobody there. So,
Just let her know that she doesn't have to be alone anymore.
she was.
You staying with her?
Mm-hmm. I'm just going back to that incredibly scary episode where she was sure I'm going to go mad, and then my mind would stop working, and then I would just start babbling in hieroglyphs.
And what does she need from somebody at that time?
Oh, at that time, she just needed somebody to hug her.
Mm-hmm.
And just say that she was okay.
Yeah.
She was all alone skiing. And she got hooked on some OCD stuff that she couldn't get out of.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't get out of it. It was just invading her mind, like it was like armies in there. And she was trying to get to go away, but she didn't want to go away. She was crying. It was a lot. She was cross-country skiing. I don't know if you ever done that. But she was far away from anywhere because she loved cross-country skiing. She was just her and the white. And
the army in her mind.
And the army in her mind. And she was crying and begging them to stop. And she was sure that her mind would just explode and there'd be nothing left.
And what did she need from somebody there?
She just needed somebody to hold her.
Yeah. And can you do that? Are you doing that in those scenes for her?
Yes. Just hold her. Mm-hmm. No judgment. Mm-hmm. Nobody's saying, you're crazy, stop it, or whatever they would say.
You're too smart, you're too old for this.
Too old for this, you know better, you know. You know that these thoughts are irrational. You know that, it's you, and yeah.
Judgment about your values.
Judgment about my values, judgment about... Which then she got back home. She was just shaking. Just like, I survived, but I can't take another one. And then she tried to suppress it. Let's push it.
Mm-hmm. Is that when she started with the mask?
Yeah, the mask had always been there, but the mask was there since I was 5 or 6. But then at least
Right.
she put on the mask and just say, I have to survive.
Right. Does she feel like you understand her?
Yes. Because I can feel it.
Does she recognize you and trust you?
Yes, I think so. I think she realizes now that I'm not going to judge her.
And that you can be the one to give her a hug when she needs it?
Yeah. And similarly, after that, now I'm jumping, but it was, I think I need to give that girl this girl was 20 or 21, but that girl that, what I remember was 22 of that bicycle thing. I think I need to give her a hug too.
Mm-hmm.
She did not know what had happened. She had just finally been happy.
Right. She thought she was doing it right. She was with friends.
Yeah, she was happy. Yeah, well, yeah, at least she was with people. I mean, there was a big group traveling together.
She thought she figured it out, and then suddenly, out of
Yeah.
nowhere, she's alone again.
She said, I was alone again. Oh, there's so many of those. I can just, my mind is, I see movies now. There's so many me's I need to give a hug.
Great.
They're all over the place. They're all over the place.
That's the beautiful thing about these memories and these movies is that's what you can do with them is re-enter them. These parts have been holding on to them. Just waiting for someone to help out.
And every time it happened, I pushed it down because it was too shameful. And then the motor started going again.
Yeah.
And I never got that hug, of course.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else that she would like for you to help her with back in her time? Or would she like to leave that time, leave that place, and come be with you somewhere else?
You know, I'm jumping like a bunny. Because now I'm jumping. I mean, she's still there. I haven't lost her or them. But I am still sitting here and saying, still don't understand. I still don't trust that part of me that could be so single-minded that she didn't see what she was doing.
Okay.
What is that?
It's a protector.
That they didn't see it? How
You
can
did.
that be?
Oh, I meant see the protector.
It's,
So you can turn to this protector, step away from the exile, let her know that you won't forget about her.
yeah.
And be with the one that is wanting to come in and wanting to say, I don't trust her. She's so single-minded.
No, it's not that. It's not
Uh-huh.
that. It's something different.
I'm sorry. Okay.
It's that force in me that force in me that could, I mean, what is it? What was going on? And the reason I'm harping on this is because I'm afraid it will happen again. It may not, likely
Right.
not.
So it's saying what was going on. We need to figure this out and figure out how this could have happened. How such a smart girl could be so single-minded, right?
Not so single-minded, but that she could be so taken over by her feelings, and that she didn't see anything around her. What is that?
Yeah. So just let that part know that it's welcome. That part sounds like a strong part. And it really wants to know.
Yeah, it really wants to know.
It really wants to figure it out.
Yeah.
And you just went to this part. And I mean, I got a half a page of notes about all the details that we learned about this girl.
Yeah,
and her experiences. And the part that is, but this part that's saying, how did all this happen? It doesn't have that ability to understand her in the way that you do.
Okay, because this girl was usually hyper aware of her surroundings, right? Because there was danger everywhere. And that started when she was little, very little. She had big antennas.
And she tried to get away from it. And then the next thing she knows, there's an army in her mind. And it's so bad that all she can do is cry.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's something that yourself was able to learn and empathize and see with compassion.
Yes, that I can
judgment.
see with compassion. Mm-hmm. That I can see with compassion without judgment. Mm-hmm. But it's that going on it. But it's that when she is among people, where she would usually have her antennas everywhere, on every square millimeter of her body, there would be an antenna that would say, nobody likes me, or she thinks I'm awful or whatever. That she could go so into that happiness that she felt.
Yeah.
That the world didn't exist around her for 45 minutes. And I think that is what I'm afraid. That's where I don't trust myself. Can that happen again?
It's a part.
Yeah.
It's a strong one.
Yeah.
And it's an important one.
And I had a tiny one of it the other day. It was just tiny and it was a trifle and nothing happened. I went to a thrift store, and I'm terrible in thrift stores because I get lost. My daughter is.
Can we slow down or back up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. It's just, I feel like we have this part that has these feelings.
Mm-hmm.
And if you turn towards it and try to understand it, just the same way you did a moment ago with an exile, and just the same way you did with the part before that you can learn about why it's working so hard.
The part that wants to know, the part that acts.
Well, I think it was the one that wants to know, or whichever one had those questions and that judgment and that lack of trust.
Okay, so the reason it's because that part is kind of obsessed with that it's saying, I can't trust you if you can act like that, or I can't. Right. Or I can't.
It can't trust a 22-year-old.
It can't trust me either.
Oh, then there we go. It is not with self.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you take the time and listen to this part the same way we've listened to all the others, learn about it, and build that trust. Maybe it doesn't know who you are today. Maybe it doesn't know how flexible and capable you are. You could check that out with it.
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It still thinks I can do weird stuff.
How old does it think you are?
Okay. Huh. I don't know. Maybe it thinks I'm still in my 20s. Mm-hmm. Does it? Yeah, I think it thinks I'm still in my 20s.
So you can let it know your real age, and that you finally can go be with that girl who's in her 20s and help her.
I think I understand now. Since she didn't know who she was, she didn't really live inside herself.
Mm-hmm.
So she
did weird stuff, right?
She did weird stuff.
Right. Sometimes she tried new things.
Yeah.
Sometimes she dared to be excited.
Mm-hmm. But she didn't have any. Even so, it wasn't. It was like it wasn't hers. It was just. It was things. She
felt alone her whole life.
Yeah, and
right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And she didn't. She didn't really have the self that could contain all those feelings. So,
yeah,
when she got overwhelmed by them,
survival mode.
Yeah, she didn't know how to handle them.
No.
That just happened to her. But sometimes they were good, and most often they were not. But sometimes they were good. But still, she had no container she could put them in.
She's just 22.
She's just 22. But she was so she was a 22-year-old but never had a role model in her whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And who most of her life she had the way she survived was to push away and to
put on a mask.
And
to keep moving.
And then sometimes dissociate.
Mm-hmm.
And all this was because there was something in there that she was protecting.
Of course.
That she didn't want to couldn't give away, and could.
That's right.
Because then she would die.
Mm-hmm.
I feel so good. I'm so non-smart.
You're so what?
Non-smart. That's not the word.
Non-smart?
Non-smart.
Well, I think what we're doing here in IFS is it's non-smart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm looking at this list of 8 C's. I don't see smart on there. Yeah.
No, she didn't have a self. So everything was. Mm.
When you turn back to her, are you able to? I mean, a protector came in and really wanted to kind of take over the way you were being with her.
Mm-hmm.
Does everybody see that? How you handled that? How you can shift from her to a protector, feeling blended, feeling that way, and then getting space from it. And do they see that that's your ability?
Mm. And I think so, because nobody is intruding.
Mm-hmm.
And just stepping away and watching, and they almost felt like they were applauding. Not be true.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. We're all applauding over here, I think. Yeah.
and I'm smiling at that girl,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm saying, "You survived! Wow,
Yeah. Yeah.
you did it!
Yeah.
You did it your way, but you did it."
And she had all those parts from the childhood.
Yeah.
It's like they were still in there back then.
They were in there, and they hadn't been worked on. They were just there.
Right. So now, how do you feel about inviting her out of her time and place to come be with you?
Yeah. I would like her to come with me and go somewhere else. And I think she would too, because I admire her strength. I mean, it's strength in the way, I don't mean like physical strength, but I mean like, how could you survive that? That motoring. I don't know what it was filled with.
Yeah. And, you know, applause back to all those protective parts, because everybody had a hand in this.
Yeah. But that 22-year-old was a little child in a 22-year-old's
in a big child's body.
In a big child's body, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what she was.
Yeah.
And part of her could navigate the world as a 22-year-old. But part of her was that, you know, inside she was just
Earthquake.
Yeah, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Lava floating everywhere and nowhere to put it. It was just.
So that's another thing you could offer her, is if she would like to take any of those feelings, pains, burdens, lava out of her body and give it up, however she'd like.
Yeah, it feels like she wants to have a big old backpack and fill it up and then send it in a rocket to outer space.
Mm-hmm.
What she wants to do.
Okay. Tell her to just keep doing that until it's all out. And she can take out some of those beliefs too, like that nobody likes her, or that she's ugly, that she has to pretend or stay moving. Because she doesn't have to do that now with you.
No, she does. And she also wants to leave all those children, smaller children, in her with me. She wants to leave them with me.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a load off, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
She can just be a 22-year-old or however old she wants to be.
Yeah.
How's she feeling?
She's feeling lighter.
Mm-hmm.
She's feeling lighter, and I don't see a person. I don't. I mean, with all the features, but I see light yellow light with the form of, like. So I think there's a head there, and there are shoulders going down.
Yeah. Sounds like she's got lots of options.
Yeah. She's stretching her arms. She has hope.
Hope?
Hope, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Could have her invite any other qualities, feelings into her body that she'd like.
She don't seem like joy in
Mm-hmm.
love and curiosity, compassion. She wants in life confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Trust. Kindness. She also wants in life respect and I said trust, the trustworthiness,
Mm-hmm.
some solidity. Yeah. Confidence that she can do it. She can take care of herself. She can meet the world. She can handle it. Not handle it like a bulldozer. That's kind of that. Invite it in and also give. Receive and give. Openness. Just want to go out in the world and trust that the world wishes her well.
Yeah. She can meet the world.
Mm. And she wishes the world well.
Mm-hmm. Another thing you can do is check back in with some of these protectors we met along the way. The ones that thought you wouldn't be able to accept her, or the ones that say she's too old to be excused, or the ones thinking whatever it was thinking about how could she be like this? How could she do this? She's not living her values. Just invite them in at whatever distance feels right and let them see how she is now with you. And you can invite them if any of them would like to change their roles or revise them in any way.
Well, it seems like I think all of them are nodding, and one of them is saying she's a real person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they thought that she was just single-minded.
Mm. But the judge really doesn't know what to do right now. I mean,
The judge doesn't.
It doesn't know what the role it has to play, because it doesn't. It's like it just because
Mm-hmm.
there is not as much for it to judge.
Yeah. Well, it could go on vacation, or
Vacation.
it could find some other things that might need its judgment.
Yeah.
There might be a lot of other things out in the world that
In the world, that's for sure.
Are being misjudged.
Yeah. Yeah. He or she or it is just going to go and sit in a chair right now, and it's in kind of a soft, in a rocking chair with soft pillows, and just sit there.
Yeah, you can call on it when you need it, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Nobody's getting fired.
No.
Any other parts? Any of these other protectors have any concerns?
The one who thought that I couldn't accept her, that I would be too, that I kind of would regress and become what I thought she was.
All right.
That doesn't feel assured. It's assured now that it doesn't need to stand there and kind of prevent me from going in. It can. That was kind of a bouncer. Doesn't need to be a bouncer anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can go into the bar and have a drink. It doesn't have to be a bouncer anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, self doesn't need to be bounced. Occasionally, if other parts want to come judge an exile, then maybe again you can call in the bouncer if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as self is around, then parts can just go directly to you. Just feel like a good place to stop.
Yeah.
Okay. Good work.
Well, you did really well.
Yeah. Well, I still feel sick, and I'm a lot happier and better feeling now at the end of this conversation than I was at the start. So, thank you.
Well, thank you. And I so hope that, that's something just you can sleep on and then you will be well
I
again.
think so.
Because, yeah. And if you feel sorry for yourself, it's well earned. If it's gonna feel sorry, yeah, I'm terrible.
Yeah.
I said that at the beginning. I feel terrible being sick.
Tomorrow's my day off from my busy life, so yeah, maybe I'll sleep in.
Then you can sleep in, and then you can just wake up and you can say, "So what do I want to do today?"
Mm-hmm.
I love those days.
Yeah. I'll probably do some IFS. Anyway, have a wonderful night. Thank you, and to all your parts.
Thank you. Thank you so much, James. And I so hope you feel better.
My pleasure. Okay. I'll be in
Bye.
touch. I hope to talk soon. Bye.
Yes, bye.
Do you want to help bring more self-energy to the world? If you'd like to participate in calls or help out with this project in any way, I'd love to hear your ideas. Join the Discord server or contact me at james@liveifs.com. A huge thanks to our audio engineer, Yvonne, for your care and diligence in editing the calls. To every caller for your courage in sharing some of your parts. And to anyone out there getting to know their internal system, keep going. Who knows? That might be the most selfless, helpful thing you can do for others, and you're the only one who can do it. If you'd like to see us reach the largest audience, we must please the almighty suggestion algorithms at iTunes and YouTube. And they don't care about the power of IFS. They're looking for likes and shares and comments, and the sooner the better. Follow the links in the show notes right here in your podcast player to make your wishes known. And now, a minute of meditation. Or if you prefer, pull over. You can do it in 60 seconds. Just click one of those links. They're right there, and give us a like or a 5-star rating. It would really help. If you think this project is helping people, you're helping people by sharing it. Thank you.